uh, I want to do something. Let me just come back and it will be row. Yeah. So if I run this right now, I got something like this. I want, I will comment this out or delete it. I want the user to decide on the number of rows and the number of columns. I mean, on the number of blocks I have. Let's say right now I have 10 by 10. Okay, but I want the user will decide. I want the user to decide on it. So instead of writing 10, I simply say that I will direct the user see out and say please enter number of, please enter block size or simply, and the user will insert, oops, the user will insert scene end. Yeah, so when the user inserted this, according to the user, this will change. So let me try this one. Please enter block size, let's say 20, and the size of my block becomes 20. And if I run the program again, let's say 30, you see this, the size of it is changing. So this is according to us right now. It becomes according to us, like if I want to control the for loops, and that's like this, and this one as well. So instead of having the row, I'll be saying please enter block size or the row number, then please enter the column number. So it will be, let's say, let's try it. Please enter row number, and this one column number. Let's say this one is column number. Okay, and same column number. So if I write this one column number, I will have a row of something like this. So the first time I'm going to give, let's say, 10 to this one and 5 to this one. So if let me just apply this. So the column will be always starting from, okay, let's say 10 this one, and this one is 5. So I will have 10 rows, but I only have 5 columns. Okay, so this was the, let's say, the logic behind using for loop. We have used single for loop, nested for loop which has if statement inside it, and for loops inside if statement as well. So this is basically, these are all the almost all things about for loop. Now we have another thing which is known as while loop. While loop is the same if we apply the same example on both while loop and for loop. So I'll try to, let's say this one is equals to 10. Okay, so while, the structure is something like this: while true, then something. Inside in the for loop, let I was writing integer I, then inside the for loop we have a starting point, a condition, which is we are saying I smaller than end, and then an incrementation to which the starting point will increase until it comes to this condition. In the while loop, this is the condition. So this is the condition. The starting point should be here. Starting point should be before it, and the incrementation should be inside it. Incrementation. Okay. So here you can say this is condition. Okay. So the condition, the starting point, the condition, and then the incrementation. While in the for loop, we have, let me just copy this one. We have I equals to 0, which is starting, and I smaller than end, which is condition, and I plus plus, which is incrementation. Okay, so we have, if you see this, we have the same thing, the starting, condition, and incrementation. What's difference here is that the for loop is always, we have to know how much we are going to do the repetition. But in the while loop, we are a little bit more free to decide, to make the decision according to the user who decides either to wants to continue or not. We can use this with the for loop for the same purpose, but it's always better, or it's, let's say, easier, not better. It's always easier to use while loop for such condition. Okay. So the starting point, what's the starting point? Let's say integer. We have start equals to 0. Yeah, I equals to 0. Here we have start equals to 0. And the condition is what? If start smaller or equal to than end. Here, start is 0. Let's make this one 1. And what's the end? End is 10. Okay, and then incrementation and the output. Plus, you can say output was incrementation. Out, because output should be before the incrementation. Okay, so let's see out, and let's say we had the result. Yeah, we have result equals to 0. So I will say result plus equals to start semicolon, and then I'll see out the result. Okay, and then we have incrementation here. How will be the incrementation? Incrementation is start plus plus. That's it. So if I run the program, let me just delete this one, or I can copy command. Oh, I cannot comment it. Yes, we can comment like this way. Okay. So 55, press any key to continue. We can give an end line here. We have the same result. If you remember, for the for loop we had 55, and here I have the same condition. I have the same starting point, I have the same condition and result plus start, and then start plus plus. So we had a result. Inside the while loop, I can also have an if statement for either if the number was, let's say, uh, even or odd. So I can say the same thing. If start modulus 2 equals to 0, then do this. If start modulus 2 equals to something like this, then do this. Okay? Okay. What a meaningful way when I'm using this is this. Let me just say uh, okay, so I have cout enter your age line, let's say. Okay, enter your age while I should have an integer for age. I will say while age smaller or equals to than 10 and age bigger or equal to than 150. Let me just while age, this one is bigger or equal to that. No, smaller or equal to that, and age bigger. So what I'm saying is this: if the age of the guy who's entering his age was less than 10 and bigger than 150, I mean 150, we cannot say a human can have an age equal to or bigger than 150 age, I mean years. So if there was a case like this, I will say seeing what age, and here I will say seeing age. So the question is coming when the program start. Enter your age. He enters his age while age smaller than 10 and age bigger or equal to that of 150. So scene, I will put the same line here inside as well. So if the student's age or if the guy's age was 80 or 18 or 50, let's say 50 is age is 50 smaller than 10? No. Is 50 bigger or equal to 150? No. So it will not come to inside of the while loop. Okay? But if the okay, let's run it. If the age was less than 10 and bigger than 150 or equal to 150, we are saying this age there should be a problem with this age. There's a mistake because a human being, let's say, cannot have an age more than 150 and less than 10 is not possible to enter his age, let's say. Let's see what's the result. Okay, enter your age. If I say 9, because I am saying here less than 10, so I'm entering 9. Press any key to continue. It says okay. So we have a mistake here. We shouldn't say and, we should say or, because in both cases it's not both cases in any of the cases, because if it is age smaller than 10 and it should be like both age should be less than 10 and bigger than 50 at the same 150 at the same time. But when we are saying the age can be less than 10 or it can be more than 150, so one of them is true, then it goes inside. So pay attention to that point as well. So I'm saying 9 enter age 9 98, there's no problem. Okay, and let me check 150 and it's not accepting 166, not accepting 149 is acceptable and there's no problem with that. Okay, so while loop can be used for such situation. I want the application to be repeated, and also I want this application to be repeated as well. let's say say your age, if it is bigger or equal to than 50 and stuff. Let's say when I run the program, I see this. When I write 23, it finishes, and I should close it in order to start it again. I want this part of the program right now. Ask me again, do you want to insert another age or no? So I will try to use another while loop right now. So while, and while something, I will put the whole thing inside this one, and I will give a tab here just to make sure it's more readable. Okay, now here the condition, how I can make sure, what should I do for the condition. So you see, I can say cout uh, do you want to enter the program? Do you want to enter the program? And endline. And I can make this one true, or I can create a boolean here, boolean decide. So I have a boolean decide, which is equals to, let's say, true the first time. If the first time it was true, I can put this decide inside here, and I don't need this sentence first of all. So whenever the program starts, it's saying while decide, while true. So this is a condition. If it is true always, it will come inside. But after everything is finished, after everything is done, I will ask the user, do you want to continue? And I'll put an endline. And after that, I can say, what they say, scene, and then decide. Here I can say 1 for true, 0 for false, for no, 1 for yes. So whenever the user inserted 1, this means true, and the program will come again to this point and then continue, ask again. And when the user inserted 0, this 0 becomes false, so it will not come again, and after that it should say cout thanks and endline. Okay. Okay, so let's run our program first of all. Let's see what it is showing to us. It may not need such amount of time in your computers, but I don't know, mine is a little bit maybe. And sometimes it's stuck in a point, it needs some time to overcome that stuck point. Okay, integer age directly came inside. Do you see this? So it came to this point first of all, and then it was saying decide is true. So if decide is true, this means that this one is green light. So decide true is true, and it's a green light. So the compiler can directly come inside to the while loop and enter your age. So whenever I say 180, it's not accepting. And say 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, not accepting. 34, let's say. Do you want to continue? 1 for yes, 0 for no. When I press 1, enter your age again. So if I enter my age again, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, so it is if it is 11, and then I pressed 0 and thanks. So this is the whole, like the logic behind using while as well. I can use this while loop instead of while loop. I can use do while statement. Let me just copy this one and apply this one using do while. Do while is the same as while loop. The only thing is changing is that, let me copy this, and how I can comment this is all out. Control Shift OK. See. There was a command to comment. There was a command to comment all these things at the same time, but I don't remember. Control Shift K and Control Shift C. There was something like this. I don't remember. Okay, so this was. Let me just delete it. Using do while is for such situation is nice. So I will say do everything, all these things, while what? While the decide is true. That's everything, and semicolon after it. So here I'm not asking the user if he wants to enter this point. So it directly goes inside directly. So the one time it's working directly. So do when the program reads this and comes inside. At this point, I don't need boolean decide equals to true. I need only to be this one to be declared, because it doesn't need to be initialized. The previous situation was that I needed this one to be initialized because I was using directly in the while loop. But right now, I don't need it. Because the program, when it comes, the compiler sees this do. It's already a green light, so it comes inside. It's cout interrogates and everything, and then after everything finished here, it comes inside cout. Do you want to continue one for, and then scene decide. When you entered one, this one will come here. If it was true, it will return to do. If it is false, it directly comes out of the while loop. Okay, so this is the using of a do while loop. In this situation, um, so let's say integer age 1 is not accepting. Let's say 12. Do you want to continue 1, and then 12. Do you want to continue 0? So you see, it was the same the result as a previously used while, but this one is directly uses once. I mean, if the case, let's say I will try to make this decide equals to 0. Oh, directly I'll make this one equals to 0. And I will delete this one. I'm going to comment these out. So I will not ask the user to continue. And the decide is false. Okay, so our boolean is false. And while decide means that if this decide is true, it will continue. Otherwise, it will get out of the while loop. So you see this one right now. It will apply once. So it didn't ask, but it finished. So it didn't ask either I want to join this while loop, this inside of the while loop. It directly comes, the do will be seen as a green light. So it didn't ask me, it directly came to inside and do this. After that, it sees that the decision is false, then it comes out of the while loop. Okay, so this is the difference between while loop and do while. While loop depends on you, depends on the condition. If the condition accepted, then it will come to the inside of the while. But do while, all these things happening. If the condition was false, then it will stop. So it always happens once. Okay.